What's going on, CDL fans? The official 2025 season schedule is here, so let's break down everything you need to know that's coming this season. First up, let's start off with the major schedule, right? These are the LAN events we're going to see this season, and as you can tell, there are going to be 4 majors. Major 1 is going to be January 30th through February 2nd in Madrid, not in Barcelona, in Madrid, so still in Spain and still hosted by the Toronto Ultra. But this is going to be a weekend earlier than we thought it was, and also in Madrid instead of Barca. Major 2 is going to be held in Dallas. I believe this is at the Allen Arena where they held Champs this past year, hosted by OPTIC, March 20th through the 23rd. This is going to be one event I'm going to, so if you're going to be there as well, let me know in the comments. Major 3 is going to be in Fort Lauderdale, hosted by the Miami Heretics like we saw last year from April 24th to the 27th. And then Major 4, this one says LAN details coming soon. This is the rumored Chicago event. And it's also rumored that this is being hosted by Gentlemates, who, of course, which we'll get into here in a second, have not still announced that they're in the league. There's rumors they're announcing in December. So we'll have to see what ends up coming about this, but we'll see kind of, but this should be in Chicago, but we don't have a date for this just yet. Now let's talk about the online qualifiers. This time it's a bit different than what we saw last year. Last year they did 7 qualifying matches per stage. This year it's slightly different. So there's going to be 4 weeks of online qualifiers for Major 1 and 2 and 3 weeks of online qualifiers for Major 3 and 4. So the teams, and we can look at the schedule here in a second, the teams are going to be playing 7 qualifiers in Major 1 and 2. But they're only going to be playing 5 qualifiers in Major 3 and 4, which is, I don't really know why that makes much sense in my opinion, because as you'll see here in a second, the minor tournaments are also being played in Stage 1 and Stage 2, but not in Stage 3 and Stage 4. So they're playing a significantly more amount of matches, like 4 at the minimum, 4 more matches in Stage 1 and 2 for the online split than they will be playing in Stage 3 and 4. But it doesn't really make a lot of sense, but we'll kind of see how it works out. The minor tournaments are going to take place in the middle of the qualifiers for Major 1 and 2. So these are going to be separate from the actual qualifier matches themselves, but they will have some CDL points for the top 4 teams, which we can get to here in one moment. Major 1 is, or Minor 1 is going to be seeded by the standings after the first 2 weeks. So after the whole break we're going to have here for the holiday season, that's going to be our seeding for Minor 1. And then Minor 2 seeding is going to be based on the standings from Major 1. So whoever wins Major 1 is going to be number 1 seed going into the second minor. But as I said, there are prizes for the minors. So each tournament, each minor tournament, there's going to be a 20K winner takes all prize. And then there is CDL points. So first place gets 30, second place gets 20, third and fourth place will each receive 10. So kind of adding more points to online COD, which personally, I feel like we should be adding more points to LAN COD, not online COD. But at the end of the day, we're getting some more. We're going to watch more COD, which is great. I don't exactly 100% love the format, but like I said, at the end of the day, more COD is a good thing, whether it's in the best format it could be or not. And then here's a look at the schedule. So right here, December 6th through January 26th is going to be your online quals. So the first matches, which we're going to look at here in a moment, start on December 6th. Then we have the minor tournament, January 10th through the 12th. And then we have the major. I'm not going to read all of this for you. You can read for it or you can pause it here for yourself. But it's going to be interesting to see how this all works. I'm excited to see the minor tournaments. Despite them being single elim, it's still going to be more COD. But now if we look at the schedule, so December 6th, Friday, December 6th, with at the time I'm recording this and probably the time you're watching this, is a little over 3 weeks away. So the season is almost here. These are going to be the first matches on the first day. And I'm going to be watch partying these matches here on the channel. So if you want to watch with me, I know everyone's going to be back on YouTube for the seasons, but if you want to watch party with me and stick around, I hope you do, and I will be live on the channel. But we're gonna have LAG, which is basically going to be the Gentlemates roster. Like I said, this is a little bit confusing because Gentlemates is taking this spot, so whether they're just not fully announced and the league is just sticking with LAG, or maybe they didn't buy the spot in time and they have to stick with LAG branding, I really don't know how this is going to work, but essentially this LAG roster should be the rumored Gentlemates roster of Skies, Kismet, Priesta, and Lins. But they're going to be playing Minnesota, which is going to be interesting. OPTIC is going to be playing Boston, a little battle of the green there. Vegas and Carolina are going to be playing. And then FAZE and Ultra is kind of like our highlight match of the first day. And then just going through some of the matches real quick. I mean, you could go to the website if you want to see all these. Biggest match of the weekend is going to be Thieves versus FAZE on Sunday, December 8th at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. That's what time zone I'm in. So this is going to be obviously the highlight of the weekend for pretty much everybody to watch. And then, yeah, the only other big thing to note here about the schedule is after December 15th, we go on holiday break for just over a month. It's the same thing we saw last year. It's a bit unfortunate. I understand why we do it, right? It's the holidays, people go home. Not every player or everybody who's a part of the league is from the US or whatever, and it could easily just go home, short flights or anything like that. So it's unfortunate, but like, it's the reality of holiday season. People should be able to spend time with their loved ones. So I understand why we do it, although it is a bit of a tease to only get 2 weeks of games, and then we have a 3-week break after having a 4-month off season or whatever it was. So gonna be a little bit sucky there, but COD is just about almost back. And then quickly, here's a look at the team skins. Let me move so you guys can see the LA Thieves. Let me know what you think about these skins. Honestly, some of them are pretty cool. I feel like overall, the template they're given, right? You can see how limited they are in making these skins is a little disappointing. The Boston Breach, I mean, they cooked up a little something. The Optic one from afar, I feel like you can't tell how detailed it is, but when you get closer, you can see the graffiti print. So obviously Hex getting his hands on this, which I think is pretty dope. But generally, I mean, the Seattle Surge skin, the Minnesota Rocker skin, the Rocker skin just, I mean, if it didn't have purple on it, would be basically the same thing as the Surge skin. I mean, they're just quite literally the logo slapped on a black character or a gray character, whatever you want to call it. So, bit unfortunate with these skins. I think people said they looked pretty good. Honestly, I feel like just the template itself is a bit boring, but I think they did good with what they could use. But yeah, let me know what you think about this schedule. Are you going to any events this year? I'm going to be in Dallas Major 2, like I said. I'm going to be watch partying all the matches here on the channel. So if you want to stick around throughout this season, a lot more than just watch parties. Going to be a lot of videos coming as well. So make sure to sub to the channel if you're not already subbed. And hopefully I'll see y'all in the next one.